Coach has everything to compete, everything in its wheelhouse in order to compete with a brand like Hermes. If you look at, and I've said this, Hermes bags, Hermes ready to wear, Ferragamo, Max Mara, and you're thinking Coach can't, with all of the access that they have to leather, to their factories, they could be so bomb. They can make coats, jackets, skirts, shorts, pants. It could be flowy, pleat. Could you imagine a Coach pleated skirt, a Coach bomber jacket, a Coach, like they just have so much. And every time I watch a show, I'm like, what in the world am I watching? Do I need Coach? Coach, if Coach took on the mentality of a Tory Burch, oh my gosh.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Hello my darlings, it's Dion Dean. Welcome back to another video. We're going to be doing a fashion chat, and I still battle with the name fashion chat because this is really more about what's going on in retail. But you know, without retail, there is no fashion, right? It's the industry. So welcome to the fashion industry chat. Is that what we want to call it? For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. If you've come by way of my thrifting hauls, my thrifting videos, my shop with me videos, I thank you so much for being here. My fashion chats are an extension of my work as a former fashion merchandising and retailing professor. My fashion chats are my outlet and where I get to speak to you guys, speak to my classroom on all things merchandising. And so, yeah, a lot of what I do in the stores, a lot of how I shop, a lot of the comparison shopping that I do actually comes from that work as a former retailing and merchandising professor. And so, again, I like to just once or twice a month share with you articles that I'm reading on Retail Dive. Sorry, I ate an apple. Want to make sure it's not flying at you. But that being said, let's jump right in. We're going to be talking about three things today. We're going to be talking about TJMaxx versus Macy's. We're going to be talking about holiday spending, and then I'm going to end it on Coach. Because I do have my thoughts, and so stick around. I'm also going to timestamp the video so that if you don't care about anything but Coach, or you don't care anything but holiday spending, you'll be able to go straight to that topic. All right. So the first article, and I will leave a link to all of these articles in the description box. This is from Retail Dive. This came out September 3rd, 2024. And the title of the article is Off-Price Retailers Poised to Take even more market share from department stores. Now, we've talked about Macy's Backstage versus Dillard's Clearance Center. And in the Dillard's Clearance Center that I did this week, I talked about it as well, right? Because with the bags that were full price at Dillard's and now funneled through to the Dillard's Clearance Center, whereas Macy's just has Macy's Clearance, and then Backstage is a separate entity all within itself that is meant to compete with a Ross, with a TJMaxx, with a Marshalls, right? I've already done a video on that. I will leave a link somewhere up here. But what this is saying is that and it says in the subtitle, TJX, which is TJMaxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods, and now Home Sense as well. TJX, Ross, and Burlington all enjoyed higher sales and profits in the second quarter. So I'm going to read along. I'm going to leave a link to the article in the description box. You guys can read along if you want. It says, ahead of financial reports from major off-price retailers, several analysts reiterated the strength of the sector. The sector is the off-price retail sector, which tends to do well in an up or down economy. So when times are good, they do great. When times are bad, they do great, okay? With shoppers from a broad income range. These retailers also enjoy a real estate advantage, and this is what got me, with most located away from malls and small centers with convenient parking, and are poised to take market share as Macy's works through its planned closures of 150 stores. So basically, when it said that they're located from malls and small centers with convenient parking, I thought about that. One of the things that I love about going to a TJMaxx or a Marshalls is that I really can just park my car and go inside, right? Even with, even with Sawgrass Mills, TJMaxx, Marshalls, Neiman's, Last Call, they're all anchor stores, so I don't necessarily have to go in to the store, right? So I feel like that's outlet malls are kind of separate in that way. Yeah, the thing that I love is the convenience, because I don't have to park and then walk in the mall, walk through the mall. I talked about, going to Bath and Body Works and I didn't have to go through Macy's, but going through Macy's and then having to go inside. And that's really true. Is it let me know in the comment section, because I didn't think about that until they said convenient parking. I was like, oh, that's true. That's very true. I didn't realize that I really enjoy the convenient parking. So they're poised to take market share as Macy's works through its planned closures of 150 stores. So as Macy's is downsizing, TJX, Ross, and Burlington are increasing stores. They're increasing their share of the market in the marketplace. They're growing while department stores are, I don't want to say dying, because I feel like if department stores die, we're in a lot of trouble, because it says a lot about the middle class. We've talked about that, right? As the middle class diminishes, a lot of the mall stores diminish. Excuse me, a lot of the stores that service the middle class diminish as well, right? So yeah, let's go down and look at, okay, so it says, quote unquote, as consumers remain pressured by inflation and accrued debt, discretionary items are taking a back seat when it comes to spending. However, when they do shop discretionary items, consumers are seeking value. Both TJX and Ross have been consistent with strong buys and leaning into categories and products the consumer is interested in. So what they're saying is the buyers, the buyers are in tune with the needs of their customer. TJMaxx knows their customer. Marshalls knows their customer. HomeGoods absolutely, positively knows their customer. Ross knows their customer. Whereas department stores, whether it's a Macy's or a Dillard's or who else is a department? I don't even know who department store is now. Well, I don't want to say Nordstrom, because I feel like Nordstrom knows who their person is too. But consistently, department stores are consistently missing the mark when off-price retailers are nailing it on the head each and every time, because they know their person, right? So it's in the article, it separates it out by the three. So TJMaxx Q2, wow, rose 5.6% year over year to 13.5 billion. Okay, and they operate stores in US, Canada, Europe, and Australia. I've done a video on TJMaxx when I was back home in London. I'll definitely leave a link there. Comps of the company's US TJMaxx plus Marshalls business, known as Marmaxx, rose 5%, and HomeGoods rose 2%. Marmaxx is the company's largest enterprise, reaching $8.4 billion in the period. Wow. We view TJMaxx as capable, TJX, which is TJMaxx, Marshalls, HomeGoods, HomeSense, capable of taking major market share from department store peers over the next few years. Wow. Plus, we believe TJX's newer businesses such as HomeSense, I'm going to take you to HomeSense, because I went to HomeSense the other day and I was like, oh, it's like a grown, I don't know, what's the difference between HomeSense, HomeGoods, and HomeSense? Because I was thinking that when I kept on seeing HomeSense, I'm like, what's the difference? HomeSense is more stylized. I'll take you there, and then you guys can let me know what you think. HomeSense and Sierra Trading Post have big potential, as does its international operation. Okay, so now we get to Ross. Ross runs 1,795 namesake locations in 43 states, District of DC and Guam, plus 353 dd's discounts located in 22 states. Okay, their net sales. So TJX rose 5.2 or 5.4% in Q2. Ross's net sales rose 7.1 year over year to 5.3 billion. Wow. In a statement, the CEO, Barbara Rentler, okay, it's Barbara, warned that though the company beat its own expectations for the period, its year-on-year comparisons could get tougher in the second half of the year. Still, the company's low to middle income consumer is responding well to its merchandising. So each of these brands, and we've talked about, very playfully talked about the TJMaxx customer, the Ross customer, the Marshall customer, the Big Lots customer, the Walmart customer. There is this there is this kind of playful banter on like low income go here, middle income go here. You know, if you're rich, you shop here. And we laugh about it, but stores, oh, this is going to sound really terrible. Stores really look at us not as a whole, right? And so they're looking at us to know how to plan for us. But that being said, in planning for us, that's why certain stores look and feel a certain way. And I've talked about, me and Ross just don't get along. And I really feel like it's the color scheme of it. But there is a distinct difference between a Ross store and a TJMaxx store, a home goods store versus, you know, HomeSense. Again, we're going to go to HomeSense. They each, and it's just talking it plain and simple here, like they know who their person is, right? And so the Ross customer is saying that their customer is the low to middle income consumer, right? And that person, that demographic is responding well to how they stylize the store, okay? The sharper value strategy across good, better, and best items is drawing in consumers at both Ross and DD's, right? And so that's why even at a Ross, you still have the Michael Kors and the Calvin Kleins and the Coach bags, because they're still, oh, did I close it out? Because they are catering to low to middle income, right? So you're going to get a lot of fast fashion. You are going to get a lot of faux leather, and not for nothing, but because that's what that customer is able to afford. No shade. That's just what they're able to afford, right? And so they are targeting that specific customer. So let's go to Burlington now. So, you know, me and Burlington, and I'm going to talk about Burlington, and then I'm going to make a statement. Burlington expects, in the second quarter, the company added 36 stores to its fleet for a total of 50 net new stores this year, finishing with 1,057. The company expects the location to notch about $7 million in its first year of operation. So what happens is if you're, and let me know in the comment section if you just got a Burlington's. Burlington's, when they open a store, they expect to get $7 million. And so if they've opened one in your area, if you have a new Burlington, know that they expect in that store to make $7 million. And that's why you got that store, okay? Net sales rose 13.4% year over year to $2.5 billion. Gross margin expanded by 110 base points to 42.8. Wow, that's a large margin. Wow. So the CEO, or no, an analyst, says we remain encouraged by the broad-based and sustained sales momentum at Burlington, despite broader concerns about the health of the lower income consumer. Okay, so Burlington right out the bat is saying that they know that they serve a consumer that's on the lower end of the income model. Okay, that being said, I shop at Burlington. Sometimes when you read these articles, a lot of times when you read these articles, and that's why I say it's really irresponsible for people to say that rich people do this and poor people do this and middle class people do this, because I don't know many people who, this just may be my circle, okay? And so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I don't know many people who only shop at Neiman's and only shop at Saks and only shop at Walmart and only, like, I feel like there's a mix, right? You may shop at Walmart for this, you go to Ross for this, you go to TJMaxx for this, you go to Burlington for this, you go to whatever, whoever, you go to Macy's for this. And so I would love to see, this is why I need the doctorate, because I want to study more. I feel like I would like to know if there's data out there on how people shop, right? And there are books on, you know, how she buys, why she buys. There are books, we'll talk. So yes, 2 years ago, our core low income customer, so this is what they're saying. Burlington says they have a core low income customer. 2 years ago, our core low income customer was under severe economic pressure from the higher cost of living. Since then, it feels as if two things have happened. Number one, as inflation has moderated, the situation for lower income shoppers has somewhat improved. And number two, in parallel, economic pressure and uncertainty has spread and broadened well beyond lower income shoppers, which is what I said, right? Because listen, I could spend $150 on an Anthropologie dress, or I can go to Burlington. So I am she is me. Okay, so that was article number one. Let me know what you think. And I'm gonna say this as well. As I was reading this, I don't want to say social media is a lie, but I would say guard your heart. You know, the Bible says that guard your heart, for out of it flows issues of life. Social media will make it seem as if, and maybe that's just the algorithm targeting me because I look at a lot of luxury. But this is saying that there are a lot more of us shopping at TJMaxx and Marshalls and Burlington and Ross than there are us shopping at Neiman's. And I feel like, and coming off of Fashion Week, where it looks like everybody's wearing everything, that's not that's not the case. That there's nobody is budget shopping. And so, you know, when you're taking in media, really think about what you're seeing, because again, the data is saying that off-price retailers are growing en masse, opening stores weekly, monthly. Okay, so take it as you will. All right, let's move into holiday shoppers. 33%, and of course this article is going to be linked in the description box. 33% of holiday shoppers plan to spend less this year. Okay, and this came out today. No, the 9th. It just popped up in my email. It says I need to check my email. 33% of holiday shoppers plan to spend less this year. Concerns around high interest rates and inflation are stressing consumers' budgets, according to a recent report. So I'm going to read the highlights. Citing continued inflation and high interest rates, 33% of consumers say they will spend less this year on holiday shopping than in 2023. Second point, just 24% of shoppers surveyed say they would spend more this holiday season. Who's saying they go? Look at me judging. I'm like, who's spending more? Shabba. When 43% will spend about the same. Nearly a quarter of shoppers said that the cost of holiday shopping will stress their budget. So my question is, if it's gonna stress your budget, why do it? I think that's the foolishness of fashion, foolishness of retail. Not fashion, because it's not about fashion, it's about retail. The foolishness of retail. A quarter of shoppers said that the cost of holiday shopping will stress their budgets. So then don't holiday shop. I can tell you that in the Dean household, I prefer trips over stuff. Okay, we've talked about this. And so if it comes to the point where we are not going to go on holiday, and my husband and I have been married 16 years, okay? If we're at the point, if we're in that space where we can't go somewhere, I am not going to go out and take what I would have spent on a holiday and spend it on Christmas gifts. Maybe it's the Jamaican in me. That's just not how, like, to say it lightly, if we don't got it, we don't spend it. Point blank, period. When you ask, you know, I get fun from you guys, from my people. Because I'm in the store so much. You're like, girl, your willpower. Like I get emails, I get comments. How do you do it? Because my money doesn't belong to the stores. My money does not belong to the stores, to design. It doesn't. And so when I go and I try on something and I like it, it's like, okay, this is nice. Okay. But I'm going to see something nice tomorrow. And so I have to really love something in order to give them my energy, because money is energy. So, you know, $54 of energy, I'm going to pray about it. Okay. $100 of energy, $1,000 of energy, because right now I want all of my energy to go into flights to see my family and friends, point blank, period. So again, I don't understand. I'm judging. Nearly a quarter of shoppers say that the cost of holiday shopping will stress their budget. So don't buy anything. Don't listen. The only person who I don't want to say has to, but she's a baby, right? She's a child. So the only person that we really do holiday shopping for is her. But if on Christmas Day I don't get something, because I'm gonna get something. It may not be on Christmas, and plus my birthday's like a month later. But if we don't have it, we don't have it, and I'm like, oh, he didn't get me nothing. No, because we've been married 16. I'm gonna get something. It may not be Christmas, but I'm gonna get something when the money is right or whatever's happening, or if we don't have it, we don't have it. Anyway. That was a tangent. I'm sorry. But I think it's that way of thinking that Okay. It seems that holiday shoppers will be more frugal this year as multiple years of high inflation and high interest rates have taken a considerable toll. Concern over pricing has holiday shoppers hesitant but still planning to spend. Concern over pricing has holiday shoppers hesitant yet still planning to spend. And that shopping may be starting earlier. Almost half of these surveyed by Bankrate said that they would start shopping for holidays by Halloween. What? Let me know in the comment section. What y'all buying in November? What are y'all buying for folks? Maybe I'm cheap. I need to ask my friends. Maybe I'm frugal. And it could be that I buy, you know what? It could be that I also buy what I want when I want. I get that from my dad. He was always the person to, if he saw something for me, he'd get it for me. There was no like, I'm waiting till your birthday to get you this. I'm waiting till Christmas to get you that. It's like, okay, I saw it. I liked it. I got it for you. So that could be it too. And lastly, e-commerce would be a key channel this season, with 42% of respondents saying most of their holiday purchases would be done online, compared to 23% of shoppers who intend to do most of their holiday shopping in stores. So, okay. All right. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have my thoughts. Again, I don't need to, yeah. I just feel like if you don't have it, let me release you from people bondage, okay? If you don't have it, ooh, am I sweating? Oh. If you don't have it, don't spend it. Don't be in bondage, okay? For you to scrimp and save and hardly get by because you're in bondage to make it seem like you can afford this, that, and the other, that's a lie from the pit of hell, okay? If you cannot afford it, if you're going to be stressed out about it, like, giving a gift should be pleasurable, okay? And it should be pleasurable for both you and the receiver. It should not stress you out. Again, in our household, if we cannot afford it, we're not going to stress out, oh my God, I didn't get Bae something. I didn't get, I know he's not stressing about it because he's like, she don't care because she got enough stuff. I'm just, I always tell him, like, he did really good because most of the stuff I have is on sale anyway. So you just give me a good Bath and Body Works candle, I'm pretty good. But yeah, that's wild. 24% said it's going to stress them out, but they're going to do it anyway. Coach. I don't really have much to say about Coach. For you guys who are new to my channel, I have a graduate certificate in merchandising, and my final project was in Coach's expansion into Asia. I studied mania in luxury fashion and how brands use mania to drive sales. What do I mean by mania? I mean the overhypation, hyping a release. The scarcity model, there's only 5 of these in the whole entire world. Like, how luxury brands really play on our desire to be special in order to get us to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on their goods. That being said, Coach, I think specifically the Coach show, I look forward to the Coach show. I think because I'm hoping on hope. I think I wrote my thoughts down so I don't get off on a tangent, because I can't. Professor Dean is always in the building. So I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be very harsh, but I'm gonna say it, okay? And this is one of the dangers. This is one of the dangers, I think, for having more influencers attend shows, influencers and celebrities attend shows, than actual fashion analysts, trend analysts, buyers, and merchants. Did I say editors? I did say editors and analysts. The role of an editor and an analyst, trend analyst, fashion analyst, is to be able to look at what you are showing them and saying, yes, this will work based on prior knowledge. Yes, this will work based on your demographic. Yes, this will work on your business model. No, this will not sell, especially if you've ever witnessed a buying meeting. This will work for our customer. This will not work for our customer. Okay. A lot of times when you have fashion influencers and celebrities attend shows. I've said this before, no shade, but they love everything. It was amazing. I'm obsessed. It was great. They like everything. I have yet to hear through, and I watch a lot of the European influencers because I was born in England, so I love to feel like I'm back home in London, okay? So I watch a lot of British influencers, and I have yet to hear one ever come out of a show and say it was awful. I didn't like it. It wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't my style, because you'll hear them say it wasn't my style aesthetic, but it wasn't good. Like, I've yet to hear an influencer, especially if they're dressed by the brand, say it wasn't good. That being said, Coach ready to wear leaves a lot to be desired. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I watch the shows. The bags are awesome. Love them. Great. The ready to wear, not so much. I have no idea why they haven't brought somebody in to do the ready to wear. Just let Stuart Vevers, let him do the accessories, just like Alessandro Michele was the accessories director, editor, and for Gucci before he was the creative director, and that's why he was so strong in bags and shoes and accessories. They need to bring on somebody to do the ready to wear. I'm gonna say it again. Coach, as a luxury leather house, has everything, and I'm saying this from someone who has studied Coach from the rooter to the tutor. Coach has everything they need in order to be on the same level as Hermes. You hear me good and proper? I sound like Joyce. You hear me good and proper? Coach has everything to compete, everything in its wheelhouse in order to compete with a brand like Hermes. If you look at, and I've said this, Hermes bags and Hermes ready to wear, Ferragamo, Max Mara, and you're thinking Coach can't, with all of the access that they have to leather, to their factories, they could be so bomb. They can make coats, jackets, skirts, shorts, pants. It could be flowy, pleat. Could you imagine a Coach pleated skirt, a Coach bomber jacket, a Coach, like they just have so much. And every time I watch a show, I'm like, what in the world am I watching? Do I need Coach? Coach, if Coach took on the mentality of a Tory Burch, oh my gosh. They are a New York centered brand, right? And I put it here. I put Coach versus Tory Burch. If they, because they are a New York City brand, if they focused on clean lines, chic and sophisticated, if they were what Donna Karan was in the 90s and early 2000s. But yet and still, they have these bags and the clothes. I have no idea. So, in all, what did I think about Coach? I think Coach needs to figure out their identity. They need to either be a K-pop entity. They need to be, because remember during the summer, they had a lot of K-pop stuff, right? They need to either be that. They need to be, and I love what they're doing now with the bags. I think it is Professor Dean. It is Dion Dean. It is Vice Provost Dean. Like those bags, yes. But they need to figure out, because all I saw on the runway was grunge. And I was like, I don't understand what is grunge? If they kept that silhouette clean and just sharp and just Hermes it up, like they really have the capability to be the Hermes of the US. And you don't want to say that something could be something else, but as a leather house. Remember, Coach was founded just like Vuitton was founded on trunks, right? Coach is a leather house. So who else to give us bomb leather than Coach, right? Anyway, long-winded to say Coach needs to figure out, and maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way. Maybe their margins are met and they're fine. Like, we're good on bags. We don't need to do ready to wear. But I feel like if you're going to do a ready to wear show in New York Fashion Week, then give me some ready to wear. Like, if you want to do just accessories, just do the magic show in Las Vegas and call it a day. But if you're going to do a show, give me a show, darling. Like I just, And so again, I'm just gonna have to wait until Milan Fashion Week to see the fashions, because Max Mara, Ferragamo, Hermes shows at Paris, Marni, like Acris. That's just my style vibe, but that look is what Coach could be doing. And it baffles me, baffles the mind, why they're not going that way. Because they are the New York brand, like New York Luxury, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, Tory Burch, Coach. I feel like Donna Karan just got a new creative director. Listen, you already know how I feel about the Donna Karan bags, not DKNY bags, but you already know how I feel about them Donna Karan bags. If their ready to wear matches their bags, that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've watched this far and you have not subscribed, go on and subscribe. You know you want to be here. Thank you guys for watching so much. And if you have any suggestions, if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about, let me know in the comment section. And I will see what I can do. You know, some things I'm just not going to give my time to because it's foolishness. But I'm kidding. I'm going to talk about everything. Bye.
Go, go.